Right, thank you for that, our correspondent Mae McMahon. And to talk more about the mood here in Strasbourg, I am joined by Anna Maria Corazza Bildt, Swedish MEP with the European People's Party, and Ignazio Corrao, an Italian MEP with the Five-Star Movement, and he's with the EFDD. Now, Anna Maria, I'll start with you. You said mood, heavy heart, but there's been also a lot of self-reflection. I'll ask you the same question. What lessons, if any, should the EU learn from Brexit, and what responsibility did it have?
Well, I hope it's going to be more a vaccine than a contagious, that we learn that even a democracy like Great Britain can be paralyzed for 2 years, and a country polarized like it has been, unfortunately, because of Brexit. The best agreement with the European Union is to be a member of the European Union. But I would like to say that I feel with heavy heart tonight that maybe for the first time in the history of the European Union, a vote in a national parliament will affect the future of your children and my children more than any time before. So I hope that responsibility will prevail. And that's also the other lessons learned. I mean, we need responsible political debates.
Ignacio, do you have a heavy heart?
Well, not really.
Considering, yes,
not
expectedly,
really.
okay.
What I think it's about the lesson that the European Union hasn't learned any lesson, because we didn't really have questioned ourselves about the reasons that brought the British people to leave the European Union, and still the European Union is making the same errors. So I don't think the lesson has been learned. Like policies of austerity, being very, very far away from normal citizen needs, still the same errors are made by the European Union, and we hope things can change with the next election. And from the British side, of course, there is the big lessons to be learned. You cannot make a referendum and you cannot organize a Brexit without thinking about the consequences, because this is a very big paradox. There is a vote on a paradox today after 2 years of mess. So this is something really, really chaotic that we've been observing.
Well, that's an example of the kind of debate we don't need to have, where we show the populists that continue just to criticize and criticize and criticize without proposing any better alternative,
we analyze facts.
Without learning lessons, and exactly without analyzing facts, which is the problem that we had in the campaign for Brexit. Unfortunately, we're still having a debate in Brexit. That's what leads to a situation that 1 hour from the vote, we still don't know if there is a better alternative, that those that would irresponsibly vote against it is our problem, because it will affect your children and my children. I hope that it will be a responsible vote.
It was not our mistake.
The agreement will move forward. But continue to just criticize and protest has not led anywhere. Politicians like Boris Johnson and you, they are not the ones who build a better Europe.
It was a big mistake.
Are you part of the problem? Are populists part of the problem?
Of course.
Absolutely, absolutely. The problem there is in the UK today, absolutely no. We can be part of the solution if we have the chance to show that we governing have the solution. We are doing so in Italy, thinking about people who have been forgotten about the governments during the last years. We are doing so in Italy. And about the British case, of course, it's a problem that today is in UK, because the government of the United Kingdom did a referendum without thinking of the consequences. This is not a European problem. This was a big mistake made by the government of UK.
And what Anna Maria is bringing up, though, is the rhetoric, right? The rhetoric.
Yes, the rhetoric, the tones. I mean, we have to be cool, calm, collected, responsible leaders and think about the future of our children. And you don't achieve that by just criticizing everyone and never giving alternatives that are better, because that's alternatives. That's
Anna Maria,
what
when I look at the deal, I would like to ask you this. How should Europe react then? Wouldn't it be in the interest of the European Union to be a bit more flexible in renegotiating? Sure, it's going to be difficult to get 27 countries to agree again, but if there's a will, there's a way. Isn't it to the benefit of the EU to possibly renegotiate this deal with Theresa May and get it through?
Well, we didn't put the red lines. The UK put the red lines by saying no internal market, no custom union. So how do we deal with the issue of the border with Ireland? We would like to find a way to have a seamless border and, of course, frictionless trade. With the best we could come with, I think Michel Barnier has been, with a united European Union behind him, negotiating in good faith, in cool, calm and collected. The backstop is an insurance it's not a permanent issue. It's the best we could offer. I think we should be open to prolong if there was really a plan.
We don't have we don't have much time, but I'll just give you time to react because you were smiling as Anna Maria was speaking.
Well, in my opinion, the end of the paradox is that will be no Brexit, and that we will have a British delegation again in the next term, in the next legislature.
I hope there will be no Brexit.
See, that's where you agree.
No, and that could be a good
that's
chance
up to the people of Great Britain.
to work together with British for a different future of Europe. I mean, I won't be sad about that.
Interestingly, that's where you do agree. All right, as British MPs vote on the UK leaving the EU, some Belgian designers are actually encouraging people to choose to be European. European by choice, it's a relatively new brand offering a range of clothing from t-shirts to hoodies and caps, all emblazoned with the post-World War II flag of Europe. Now, the company isn't affiliated with the EU, but it does aim to promote continental European identity, and it embraces countries which are not members of the bloc, including soon-to-be Brexit Britain. All right, Sene Dehan Scooter is the founder of European by Choice, and he is joining me now live from Antwerp. Sene, very good to have you with us. Thank you for joining us. Okay, tell me first, what made you want to pursue this, to create this brand that promotes a European identity? Is this Brexit inspired?
No, totally not. For me, I have always felt European. But I felt the European identity was not presented in culture. Europe is always linked to politics, and politics can be the second thing, but the first thing should always be culture. So if Europe, the EU, or just Europe as a continent has a chance of succeeding in being prosperous and being connected and facing the future together, then culture should be first. So that's why we started a fashion brand, which is culture, of course.
Yeah, is this how you make Europe cool? And has Brexit maybe made Europe cool?
Oh, I don't know. That's a really political question. And I'm a film director myself. I'm not in politics at all. So for me, it's all about culture. And if the Brits or the people of the UK decide to leave the EU, then that's fine for me. I would love to have them within the EU. But again, the fashion brand is because a few people know, but this flag is really the continental flag of Europe. It's the flag is much older than the EU. So for us, it's about a continental identity, cultural.
All right, and just very quickly, who are the people who wear your clothes, and what do they say about this?
Well, the thing is, we started with a crowdfunding a few months ago, and it went viral. We did not expect this. We thought we would do a small web shop, and if I can wear something myself, then I'm happy already. But it really went viral. Thousands of people from all over the EU and Europe and even the world joined us. And I think it's really moderate people. I think the extremes are very loud and in the media. And the like the populists and of course I'm not politically inspired. So if they have an idea of something, right, then there's no problem. But I think it's the people who buy our stuff are really the moderate people, and it's the biggest group actually. But they don't make any noise.
Interesting thing to say, moderate and extremists. All right, thank you very much for your time, Sene Dehan Scooter, founder of European by Choice. Actually, I'll give you a chance to reply to that because he was saying moderate people wear their clothes, and I mean, I
don't think we have to be fanatics about flags, but we have to be strongly focused on people's needs. I mean, this big feeling of being European will be achieved if European people will be represented.
As a Eurosceptic, do you feel European? Or if you feel Italian?
I was born European and I feel European. I was part of all European projects and I'm happy to be European.
And a quick reaction, Anna Maria, we have culture, politics coming together here.